I saw a video recently and it made me cry, and every time I watch it, it makes me cry. Maybe some of you have seen it because I mentioned it to someone else and they said, oh, I saw that one. It was just a short. And in that video short, it was a homeless man who was sitting in the mall and he sat down and ate someone else's leftovers. It was soup. And in the video, there was no audio. Of course, they just played music over it, so you don't really know what happened. But when a woman came up to him and took the tray and food away, and the man who was homeless just covered his face like this, and you could see the great shame in him. And then she came by and she actually had a fresh bowl of soup for him. She had clean silverware, and he looked at her, and I weep every time I see it. And it's funny because the part that makes me weep is not the good deed that she's doing, and it was in fact a good deed, but it was the look I saw on his face when that first bowl was taken away from him. If he had known that she was taking the bowl away because he was worthy of his own bowl, and she, out of her own money or kindness, went and got him a fresh bowl and fresh silverware and a fresh napkin, and she gave him the napkin, and the look on his face was like, wow. But the part that bothered me is that he didn't know that at first, and when she took the bowl away and I just saw his hand and he just covered his face. And again, that thought just makes me want to weep at how that man felt shame. And it made me think about the worth of all human beings, and that it pointed out that every human being is worthy of dignity. You know, I want to give you dignity. This woman, I think she was a server at the restaurant next door in the mall, that she gave him dignity by saying, you're worthy of your own bowl of soup. You don't need to eat somebody else's. And so I looked up what dignity is, because it's so important, but it's that quality of being worthy of respect. This value that every single human has. And we are all worthy of dignity. Even a homeless man. Even people who live not good lives are worthy of dignity. And for me, and this isn't supposed to be a conversation on abortion, but I do remember a conversation I had with a friend of mine. She was an old teacher. She was loved by all of us. She's still alive. Maybe she's watching. And our political values are so opposite of each other. I'm a staunch conservative Christian, and she's a staunch Democrat. But we're both Christians. And she's very pro-abortion, but she's one of those awesome people that you can have these conversations with. And in this one conversation, she told me about why she was pro-abortion. And she said that she had a sister in a mental institution. And that while in that mental institution, someone had raped her sister, who was relatively in the vegetative state. It's horrible, horrific. And she conceived. So her parents were left with this devastating decision. What do we do with this child? Now my teacher, my friend, who was sharing this story with me, said, this is why I'm pro-abortion. Because that baby would have been, the doctors say, which here's a whole separate argument. Doctors don't know. I've seen miracles, but whatever, let's put that aside. Let's assume the doctors were right. The doctors say that baby would have also been a vegetable like her mother, his or her mother. And she said, that's why I'm pro-abortion, because no one should ever have to have that child or have that decision. And her parents had to make the horrible decision to what to do with their grandchild. And so they chose to abort the baby. So I have zero judgment of the family. They made whatever decision they made for the reasons they made it. But when I conversed with my friend And I said to her, well, the reason I'm pro-life in all instances is because everybody is worthy of dignity, even that baby. Even if that baby had been born with any kind of mental retardation or lived only for 5 minutes, God created that life, and that life was worthy, not because of any grandiose things it would accomplish. What if many of us who have family members who are in the vegetative state, can't speak, can't work, and they take from people that, they have to be fed, they have to be changed, they have to be cared for, and in the eyes of society, they can't give anything back. Well, I do know that they give back. But they give back things that aren't valued by society. They give back an opportunity to love another human being. They give back an opportunity to see the value and the human worth of another and let me care for you. But apart from that, when I said to my friend, because your baby niece or nephew was made in the image or likeness of God, who knows? Maybe if he or she lived for only minutes, a worker at the nursing home would have been converted. Maybe someone would have learned something about childbirth in the process. Maybe someone would have drawn closer to God. We don't know. But our dignity is not based on what we do, what we are able to produce, and what we are able to give to human society. We have dignity because of where we came from and whose image we're made in. And often, it is God's gift to us to give us people that can't take care of themselves, so that we have an opportunity to care for others and give back to the body of Christ. Perhaps it's an opportunity to live the Beatitudes, to clothe the naked, feed the hungry, give drink to the thirsty, visit the imprisoned. That video really touched me, and I'm probably going to watch it again and probably going to cry again with that man and the soup. But I think what a gift he was to the woman who brought him soup. Because she got to be the hands and feet of God. And she got an opportunity to show another human being that no matter how bad he smelled or what he looked like, that he was worthy. He was worthy of being loved. He was worthy of his own bowl of soup. Let me know your thoughts. I'm Dr. Christine Bacon. Thanks for watching this informational Bacon Bit. And as always, live your life sunny side up.